What's up, Broncos country? Man, you won't believe what just happened here in Denver. Mile High is literally vibrating with three bombshell news items that completely changed the game before the showdown against the Green Bay Packers. And look, I'm not exaggerating here. This is the real deal, my friends from Broncos country. While other teams are watching their quarterbacks take 8 sacks on Monday Night Football because they can't keep their offensive line healthy, we're here exploding with health, more prepared than ever, and with a Bo Nix who just proved to the entire world that he's not just a promise, he's already one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. That's right. You heard it. Advanced analytics prove that Bo Nix's 2025 performance is among the top 5 in crucial metrics, man. And there's more. We have the perfect plan, tested and approved, to stop Jordan Love and that powerful Green Bay Packers offense. If you're a Denver Broncos fan, get ready, because what's coming will give you chills. Think about it. While other NFL teams are praying for their players to survive the season, the Denver Broncos are literally resurrecting key players like it's an Avengers movie. First, let's talk about DJ Jones. Man, that name should make any Broncos fan get goosebumps, because he's that guy the San Francisco 49ers desperately wanted back. And what did Sean Payton do? He looked at them and said, "No thanks." He stays here. DJ Jones's defensive line statistics are simply absurd, my friends. And now he's coming back exactly when we need him most, against Josh Jacobs, that running back who lives rent-free in our heads because he's never lost to us. 8 games against the Denver Broncos, almost 1,000 yards accumulated since the days when he destroyed us wearing a Vegas Raiders jersey. But guess what? With DJ Jones's injury report showing cleared, that story changes completely. Having him back on our defensive line isn't just important. It's fundamental to stopping the Packers' running game. But wait, because the second news is even better. Nate Adkins is back. This guy is the true Swiss Army knife of our team. Remember when Adam Prentice, the Broncos fullback, made that incredible run that left Bo Nix impressed? Well, Nate Adkins is of that caliber, a player Sean Payton said was too good not to have on the roster. His own coach at the University of South Carolina said, "If I could have a team with 53 Nate Adkins, I would." Coach's son, absurd intelligence, plays on special teams, can play any position. Pass protection, the best. Receiving, the best. Blocking, the best. And now here's the cherry on top. Ben Powers is coming back. Ben Powers' injury return from the practice squad timeline shows he opened a 21-day window and is about to return to the field. Man, Bo Nix's quarterback sack rate is already one of the best in the league, even playing with the 4th option at guard. Think about what will happen when we have the first option back. Ben Powers' contract extension was one of the first decisions Sean Payton made when he arrived in Denver. He knew he needed to improve that offensive line. He went after Mike McGlinchey, offensive tackle, for the Denver Broncos, and then Ben Powers. Sean Payton commented on his personality, his intelligence, and how he fits perfectly into any system. And everyone criticized Sean Payton, thinking he was bluffing when he said Ben Powers would return in December. But man, December arrived, and Ben Powers is coming back. I need a whiteboard here to write down all the promises Sean Payton makes that the national media thinks will never happen. And he simply delivers on all of them. Let me tell you something. Sean Payton is hyped to play at home, and he has every right to be, because the advantage that Denver's altitude represents for teams coming from sea level is something absurd. In today's press conference, he talked about how excited he was to play at Empower Field at Mile High Stadium, highlighting this gigantic advantage we have. And there's more. After almost a decade without playoffs, think about it, 9 years, the Denver Broncos finally returned, and the crowd at the game against the Kansas City Chiefs was absolutely insane. The noise, the energy, that vibe that makes the stadium shake. Sean Payton commented on this and said, "That's what I expect going forward, folks." So if you're going to the game Sunday, listen to what I'm going to tell you. Make the maximum amount of noise possible within the law. And it's not just when they're taking the field. It's when Jordan Love is in the huddle, when he's calling plays, turn up the volume. Sean Payton said that's our advantage, right? We have a tough 4-game stretch ahead, but 3 of them are at home, with you, the crazies from Broncos country, making all that noise. You know what else improved in these last 2 games? Discipline. Bo Nix's rookie season stats comparison showed he was suffering from offensive penalties. False starts and illegal blocks in the back killed our drives. But now, we're committing way fewer penalties. Sean Payton even commented on how difficult it is to recover from a 10-yard illegal blocking penalty when suddenly you're in a second down with 20 yards to gain. That was impossible for any quarterback. And the fact that we've improved on this is gigantic. And look how interesting this is. Everyone talks about plans to stop dangerous pass rushers, like the Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter dual edge threat strategy. But with Mike McGlinchey and Garrett Bola's offensive line chemistry, we've already held up well against scary duos like that. So, while you could argue that Green Bay can move their rushers all over the field, having just one good guy isn't as scary as having to stop 2 monsters at the same time. But here's the funny part. The Broncos are underdogs in this game. Everyone at CBS picked the Packers, except for one guy. We're underdogs by 2.5 points, and they asked some quarterbacks about this. Drake May said that whenever you play at home and you're the underdog, it gives you extra motivation. But you know what Bo Nix's response was? The perfect response to not give ammunition to the Packers in the locker room. To me, that doesn't matter. My mom thinks we're going to win, and that's all that matters. Genius! But you know this is bothering Sean Payton's coaching strategy mentality. It's bothering Bo Nix himself, too. We just won 10 straight games, man. We won in Philadelphia, we beat the Chiefs, we defeated the Cowboys, who had the best offense in football. We're a really good team, and you still make us underdogs against a team that lost to the Panthers and the Browns? It makes no sense. But I love it. Underdog mentality motivation, baby. Now let's get to the part that's going to shut a lot of mouths out there. But Nix is already one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. There are a lot of people, especially at The Ringer and on Bill Simmons' show, who keep criticizing Bo Nix, saying he's still the captain of short passes and that he's not a real franchise quarterback. But let me show you some statistics that will blow everyone's mind. Advanced analysis shows quarterback performance when they're expected to throw the ball. We're talking 3rd and long expected passing situations. Bo Nix's passing stats and 3rd down conversion rate, he's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. That's right. Bo Nix's expected pass situations performance puts him among the elite quarterbacks in passing metrics for 2025. Phenomenal statistics for a guy who's been playing on a roster built around Russell Wilson's dead cap hit impact of $85 million. And this doesn't need to happen anymore, folks. Now we'll be able to use offensive weapons around him in a way we didn't have before. Seeing Bo Nix's quarterback ranking in advanced stats ahead of guys like Sam Darnold, who has all that receiver talent around him with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and ahead of Caleb Williams, who everyone said was in the best situation a rookie quarterback has ever been in. It's sensational, but there's more. We've all talked about how Bo Nix doesn't need to throw the ball 50 times a game to win. That's true. It's very difficult to win when our starting quarterback is throwing more than 40 times. But did you know that Bo Nix's win percentage with 40-plus pass attempts is among the highest in the NFL when a quarterback throws the ball more than 40 times? An absolutely phenomenal statistic for a rookie quarterback whose entire team is hampered by the salary cap impact of Russell Wilson, seeing his name above Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Tua, Justin Herbert. The only person better than him is Patrick Mahomes. Bo Nix played 7 games where he had to throw the ball more than 40 times and won 5 of them. And look, in the first game he played professionally, he also threw more than 40 times. So if you take out that debut game, which is always tough for any rookie, Bo Nix's 3rd down passing leader's NFL stats are 5-1 in that category. And when it really matters, third down, or when you need to score a touchdown, who has the most passes for first downs or touchdown passes on third down? B.O. Nix again. Another quarterback among the top 10, among the top 5, among the top 3. The only ones above him are Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. Bo Nix's clutch performance and fourth-quarter comebacks show that he's not someone we should ignore or question whether he's really good. He is really good, and he's about to show it to the entire world because we have the national game against the Green Bay Packers on Sunday. Broncos country, TV games on NBC, CBS, and Fox coverage will put him in the spotlight he deserves. And look, Matt LaFleur, the Packers coach, is already impressed. Remember 2 seasons ago when Bo Nix was still a freshman and hadn't even started playing? We had a joint practice with the Green Bay Packers preseason schedule. The Denver Broncos completely destroyed their team during the preseason. They had a joint practice and then a preseason game. And Matt LaFleur had a serious talk with his team, like, guys, it doesn't just seem like these guys dominated us. They massacred us. Today they asked him, what's your plan to stop Nick Bonitto, the pass rusher? And he responded, that's a great question, and nobody has found the answer yet. Nick Bonitto's contract extension and Pro Bowl selection for 2025 show he's an absolute beast. So the Broncos showed this 2 seasons ago when they beat the Packers team with Russell Wilson. We've seen the Packers' record against the Broncos recently, and it looks really good when we play at altitude against them. And now, here's the perfect plan to stop Jordan Love. Jordan Love, when he plays against man coverage defense strategy, excels. Analyzing his EPA, expected points added, he throws 12% of his touchdowns when under man coverage, with a success rate of 53%. His EPA in Jordan Love stats versus man coverage is 49 when facing man coverage, while against zone defense coverage schemes in the NFL, he throws only 1. 4% of his touchdowns and his success rate is much lower. So I think the method here, although it's really tempting because we have this incredible secondary with Pat Surtain II, all-pro cornerback for the Denver Broncos, and Riley Moss on the cornerback depth chart, will generate the temptation to use man coverage. But man, we know that's what Jordan Love does best. So let's make him do what he does worst, which is play against the zone. Let's stop this winning streak. I'm certain we're going to do it. The Denver Broncos will reach 12 wins and 2 losses. What are we talking about here? It's the best day ever, Broncos country. We have so much to believe in. Let me tell you something that moves any fan who bleeds orange and blue. After years watching our team struggle, after years hearing excuses, after years being forgotten by the national media. Finally, we're back to the place that was always ours. Courtland Sutton's contract extension for 2025 shows we're keeping our talents. Evan Engram's tight end trade acquisition impact is giving that extra dimension to the offense. R.J. Harvey's rookie running back performance is showing we have a future. Marvin Mims Jr. Special Teams Player of the Week for the AFC and Week 14 AFC recognition. Proved that our young guys are ready to shine. Jaleel McLaughlin's running back explosive plays are giving us that dynamic we needed. And when you look at Jonathan Cooper's pass rush statistics and Nick Bonitto's sack leader defensive stats, you see a defense that's hungry. Zach Allen's defensive line impact came back after being on the injury report, and Pat Bryant's wide receiver rookie emergence on the depth chart is gaining ground on Troy Franklin in the roster battle for receiver corps. This is depth, folks. This is a real team. And while other teams are falling apart, while other quarterbacks are taking sack after sack because they can't keep their offensive line healthy, we're getting healthier every week. Quinn Meiner's Pro Bowl guard and offensive line anchor, Luke Wattenberg's center depth chart progression, Calvin Throckmorton's offensive line versatility as backup, this line is built to dominate. You want to talk about defense? Let's talk. P.J. Locke's safety leadership and defensive backfield communication leads a secondary that's elite. Brandon Jones's safety depth chart and tackling ability complement perfectly. J.L. Skinner's safety developmental progress as a young defensive back is growing every game. Devin Key's defensive back special teams contributions make that dirty work that nobody sees but makes all the difference. Jaquan McMillion's slot cornerback coverage stats are locking down. Opposing slot receivers. Riley Moss's outside cornerback progression as a second-year player is completely justifying our draft pick. Jahdae Barron's rookie cornerback playing time on the depth chart is showing that the future of our secondary is guaranteed. Chris Abrams-Drain's cornerback special teams contributions and versatility as a defensive back bring that crucial versatility. On the defensive line, Malcolm Roach, defensive tackle with a contract extension as an interior pressure. Specialist, just got an extension because he's destroying. John Franklin Myers, defensive end, whose injury report showed knee status cleared, is back and ready to dominate. Ayioma Uwazuriki's defensive line rotation depth just showed in the last game he can be an X factor. Jordan Jackson's defensive tackle depth chart as an Air Force product brings that military mentality of never giving up. And the linebackers, Alex Singleton's inside linebacker leadership, cancer surgery recovery, and inspiring 2025 story is simply inspiring. The guy had surgery to remove a cancerous tumor and weeks later is already back. Justin Sternad's linebacker special teams coverage is that warrior who does everything. Dre Greenlaw's linebacker acquisition as a former 49ers impact trade brought Super Bowl experience to our locker room. On offense, beyond Bo Nix as our franchise quarterback, with future contract extension speculation, we have weapons everywhere. Cortland Sutton's receiver leadership and veteran presence is having his best season. Lil Jordan Humphrey's receiver big body and red zone threat gives us that physical option we need. Troy Franklin's rookie receiver Oregon connection and Bo Nix chemistry has that special connection with Bo from Oregon. And in the backfield? Even with J.K. Dobbins running back on injured reserve with a foot injury timeline, leaving us, R.J. Harvey's running back, UCF rookie carries per game statistics are exploding. Tyler Beatty's running back as a third down specialist and pass-catching back complements with those sure hands. Jaleel McLaughlin's speed back explosive plays and home run threat continues to be that lightning bolt that can break any play. Adam Prentice's fullback blocking as lead blocker impacts the run game and is opening holes. Mercedes Lewis, tight end and oldest player in NFL history, with veteran leadership and blocking specialist skills at 41 years old, is showing that age is just a number. Adam Trotman's tight end, receiving yards progression as a pass-catching specialist, is growing in the system. Nate Adkins' tight end return from injury with versatility as a utility player, as I already mentioned, is the Swiss Army knife that came back at the right time. And look, it's not just about individual talent, it's about chemistry. It's about Will Lutz, kicker with field goal percentage and clutch kicks in late-game situations, being automatic when we need him most. It's about Jeremy Crawshaw, punter rookie from Florida with punting average and field position being crucial for the field position game. It's about Mitchell Fraboni, long snapper with consistency and special teams reliability, doing that invisible but essential work. It's about Alex Forsyth, center backup on the depth chart and injury replacement ready, being prepared when called. It's about Alex Palchowski's tackle depth versatility as a swing tackle, bringing that crucial depth. It's about Jerron Christian, offensive tackle with experience, as a backup veteran giving that security when we need it. It's about Frank Crum, tackle and Wyoming product as a developmental prospect, showing we bet right on the young guys. It's about Quay Robinson, outside linebacker rookie from Alabama, as a pass rusher and developmental edge, starting to show the talent we saw in the draft. It's about Jonah Ellis, pass rusher rookie from Utah as an edge defender, showing growth with every snap. It's about Syvion Jones, defensive end rookie from LSU, as a developmental prospect with raw talent, having that sky-high ceiling. It's about Dondria Tillman, edge defender backup depth, and pass rush specialist, doing his part when called. It's about all these guys who don't appear in the headlines, but make this team work. Why this team is different, you know what separates this Denver Broncos 2025 playoff contenders and AFC West leaders from previous teams. Mentality. Sean Payton's coaching philosophy, culture building, and winning attitude created a culture of winners. George Payton, general manager with draft strategy, free agency moves, and front office decisions, showed we knew exactly what we were doing. The Walton Penner Ownership Group's investment in team facilities, resources, and commitment is investing in the right place. This isn't luck, folks. This isn't chance. When you see the Denver Broncos' 10-game winning streak, record-setting season, and unprecedented success, you're seeing the result of planning. You're seeing the result of execution. You're seeing the result of a team that believes. And when the national media says we're underdogs, when they doubt us, when they think we're going to collapse, we use that as fuel. The Broncos' underdog mentality, playoff push motivation, and fuel for success has been our engine this entire season. What's ahead? The Denver Broncos' schedule of remaining games, playoff implications, and AFC seeding shows we have everything in our hands. With 3 of the next 4 games at home, with our defense playing at an elite level, with Bo Nix improving every week, with our offensive line getting healthier, with our receivers making plays, the sky's the limit. Broncos playoff scenarios, AFC wildcard potential, and home field advantage possibilities show that if we keep winning, we might even host a playoff game at Mile High. Imagine that, Broncos country. Imagine opponents having to come to Denver, to the altitude, to the noise, to the most intimidating atmosphere in the NFL. And look, I know some people will say, yeah, but they still need to prove it in the postseason. Worlit. I know some people will say, yeah, but Bo Nix is too young to lead a team to the playoffs. I know some people will say, yeah, but that defense can't handle playoff pressure. You know what I say to those people? Watch and learn. Because this Denver Broncos team with 2025 Super Bowl aspirations, championship contention, and dark horse candidate status isn't like previous teams. This team has grit. This team has heart. This team has a system that works. Sean Payton's offensive scheme and Bo Nix's perfect fit in the quarterback development system has already proven it works with young quarterbacks. Vance Joseph's defensive coordinator scheme, blitz packages, and coverage disguises are running a defense that suffocates. The players buy the philosophy. The players execute the plan. The players believe in each other. So when you ask me if I'm excited for Sunday, when you ask me if I think we're going to beat the Green Bay Packers, when you ask me if Bo Nix is going to have a big game, I answer you with another question. Do you really think we're going to lose at home, at altitude, with all this health, with all this motivation, after winning 10 straight? The Denver Broncos will reach 12-2, and it's not speculation. It's inevitable. Broncos country, championship dreams, mile-high magic, and home field dominance will be vibrating on Sunday. The Packers will feel that thin air. Jordan Love will feel that pressure from Nick Bonito and Jonathan Cooper coming from all sides. Bo Nix will show he is the future of the NFL. And when the clock hits, when we have our 11th consecutive victory, when we're at 12-2 and practically guaranteed in the playoffs, Broncos country. I want you to remember this moment. I want you to remember when nobody believed. I want you to remember when we were that team that's going nowhere. Because now we're the guys. Now we're the team nobody wants to face. Now we're the team that can beat anyone anywhere. And it all started with 3 simple news items. DJ Jones came back. Nate Adkins came back. Ben Powers is coming back. But these three news items represent something bigger. They represent that this team doesn't give up. They represent that we fight until the end. They represent that when you knock us down, we get up stronger. So, Broncos country, are you ready to make history on Sunday? Are you ready to be the sixth defender on the field? Are you ready to show the Green Bay Packers, the entire NFL, and the football world that Denver is back? Because I am. And I know Bo Nix, rookie quarterback with playoff push or leadership, is. And I know Sean Payton is. And I know every player on this roster is. Now is the time. Now is the moment. Let's go Broncos. 12-2 is coming. Mile High will shake. And Green Bay will feel the weight of an entire nation believing. What are we talking about? It's the best day ever. Broncos country, we have so much to believe in. Let's go.